If you're preparing for the VMware Cloud Foundation 9.0 operations 3V0-22.25 exam, this video is for you. Understand the VMware 3V0-22.25 exam. The 3V0-22.25 exam is a professional-level VMware certification that leads to the VMware Certified Advanced Professional, VMware Cloud Foundation 9.0 operations, VCAP, operations, credential. It's designed for system administrators, cloud operations engineers, and virtualization professionals who work with VMware Cloud Foundation in real production environments. 3V0-22.25 exam objectives. Understanding the exam objectives is key to your success, including Section 1 IT Architectures, Technologies, Standards. Section 2 VMware Products and Solutions. Section 3 Plan and Design. Section 4 Install, Configure, and Administer the VMware solution. Section 5 Troubleshoot and Optimize the VMware solution. Prepare for your 3V0-22.25 exam with reliable study materials. To help you prepare more efficiently, we're sharing our free 3V0-22.25 demo questions with you. These free demos are designed to give you a real feel for the exam question style, the scenario-based structure, the key operational topics VMware actually tests. By practicing with these demos, you can quickly identify whether your current knowledge is aligned with the exam requirements and understand where you need to focus more attention, especially around capacity models, resource reclamation, workload right-sizing, and VCF operations configurations. If you're serious about passing the 3V0-22.25 VCAP operations exam, starting with the latest 3V0-22.25 exam questions is one of the smartest ways to build confidence before moving on to full preparation materials. 1. 2. In the context of the VMware Cloud Foundation, VCF, Software-Defined Data Center, which statement best describes the primary architectural role of VCF operations compared to SDDC Manager? A. VCF operations acts as the central identity provider, managing single sign-on, SSO, tokens for all VCF components. B. VCF operations serves as the centralized platform for intelligent operations management, providing visibility into performance, capacity, cost, and compliance across the entire stack. C. VCF operations handles the lifecycle management, patching, upgrading, of the physical hardware and SC hosts. VCF operations is the primary automation engine responsible for provisioning new workload domains and deploying vCenter server instances. Answer: B. 3. A VCF operator needs to isolate logs coming specifically from the production environment. All production VMs are configured with a VCF operations for logs agent tag. Environment equals production. What is the most precise way to configure this filter in interactive analytics? A. Type production in the main search bar. B. Sort the logs by host name. C. Use a regex production. D. Add a filter. Select the field environment. Set the operator to equals, or contains, and enter the value production. Answer D. 4. An administrator wants to use VCF automation to consume infrastructure defined in existing Terraform configurations, TF files. Which statement accurately describes the Terraform integration capability in VCF automation? A. It requires the Terraform binary to be installed on the vCenter server. B. It allows administrators to add a Terraform configuration resource to the design canvas. VCF automation connects to a Git repository containing the Terraform files, and at deployment time, it executes the Terraform plan. Apply commands using a designated Terraform runtime, Kubernetes pod or separate VM agent. C. It converts Terraform code into VCF automation YAML automatically. D. It only supports AWS. It cannot run Terraform against vSphere. Answer B. 5. A security auditor mandates that all security logs must be retained for 7 years to meet compliance regulations. The current VCF operations for logs cluster only has enough local disk space to retain logs for 30 days. Which architecture feature should be enabled to satisfy this long-term retention requirement without expanding the cluster's local storage to petabyte scale? A. Enable data deduplication to fit 7 years of data on the existing disks. B. Configure data archiving. This feature automatically copies sealed log buckets from the local high-performance storage to a low-cost external storage target, e.g., NFS or S3, for long-term cold storage. C. Configure a second VCF operations for logs cluster and replicate all data to it. D. Increase the retention notification threshold. Answer B. 6. A network engineer sees a recurring link flap error in the logs but needs to know if this is an isolated incident on one switch or a systemic issue across the data center. What is the most effective workflow in interactive analytics to determine the scope of impact? A. Create an alert for link flap. B. Search for link flap and manually read the first 100 pages of results. C. Search for link flap and switch the chart view to group by host name. This visualizes the distribution of the error across all sources. If the chart shows one bar, one switch, it's isolated. If it shows 50 bars, all switches, it's systemic. D. Filter by the specific switch IP 192.168.1.1. Answer C. 7. Which internal software component running on a VCF operations analytics node is primarily responsible for the shared in-memory map that shards metric data across the cluster for rapid processing and retrieval? A. The central PostgreSQL database. B. The VMware Gemfire service. C. The Global XDB, Cassandra, database. D. The Apache web server. Answer B. 8. An operator receives a ticket stating that app server A cannot reach DB server B over port 3306. The operator suspects a firewall misconfiguration but is unsure if the block is happening at the distributed firewall, DFW, the edge gateway, or the physical firewall. Which specific feature of VCF operations for networks should the operator use to diagnose this connectivity issue? A. The log analysis dashboard to grep for packet drops. B. The capacity forecasting engine. C. The VM to VM path topology tool. D. The compliance benchmark report. Answer: C. 9. An administrator needs to throttle the upload speed of the log insight importer to prevent saturating the WAN link from a remote office during a large forensic upload. Does the importer support this capability? A. No, but you can pause and resume it manually with Ctrl+C. B. No, it always uploads at line speed. C. Yes, by configuring traffic shaping on the vSphere distributed switch. D. Yes, the LI importer command typically accepts a parameter, e.g., throughput or similar, to limit the ingestion rate, EPS or bandwidth, allowing the admin to control the network impact. Answer: D. 10. In a distributed VCF automation architecture, an administrator needs to manage a remote data center that is separated from the main management instance by a firewall with strict inbound blocking rules. Which architectural component enables secure communication to the remote endpoint without opening inbound ports on the remote side? A. A remote collector node. B. A standalone VRO appliance. C. A dedicated VPN tunnel. D. The cloud proxy, or extensibility proxy. This appliance is deployed in the remote data center and establishes a secure unidirectional outbound connection via WebSocket, HTTPS, to the central VCF automation instance, allowing the platform to issue commands to the local vCenter and run extensibility actions securely. Answer: D.